My upload has been completed. My screen has changed. I see this green check mark saying that the file uploaded has been completed and the video is live at this URL. Here I have my title area where I can change my title area. I can provide description, which Universal Baptist Church, being a reputable organization, you always want to have as much information as possible for whatever content you upload to your site. So please don't hesitate or be lax in providing detail when and where requested and necessary. This adds to your visibility on the internet. Depending upon the site, besides just your site broadcasting to the internet information, YouTube is also broadcasting information about your site to the internet. So you always want to have as much information in here as possible. For instance, you may want to put a description in here that actually has a link to your website. Okay, as well as you may also want to, and if you want to learn more, here's a question mark. You can just click on that. It'll talk to you about tags and what tagging means. And I can't stress enough how important it is that you provide tags, descriptions, and titles to linking content that you have and that you will be utilizing on your website. But again, this is not for public consumption. This is just for training purposes, so we will not go into the exercise of adding all of this information. But what I do want to show you here is, here I have options on what kind of thumbnail I want people to see when they actually see that video representation. I'm going to choose that one because it looks a little bit more studious. And again, we're translating information over the internet. We need to confirm it. So here I'm going to make sure that everything is saved, and I think I accidentally clicked saved, so we're in good shape, and it's telling me that it's saved. Okay, here we'll have to make the privacy settings public because we want everyone on the internet to be able to see this information. So now I've got my video uploaded, and remember, YouTube, when you read through, will tell you what kind of file formats it accepts. And pretty much it's set to work for everyone, so you will have no problems finding a file format that is easy for you to upload. I upload videos that are the file format for an iPhone or an iPod because it makes it easy, and I can utilize it on my iPhone or iPod as well. So now that I've uploaded this, it's telling me that my video is live here. I can click on that link to actually go to the video. And while you think what you would be doing is copying that link and pasting that into your site, all that you would get is a link to this page. What we want to do is actually embed this video into our website. So we go down here, and you know what, before I continue, these are also added benefits that YouTube gives you when utilizing this service. You can have information such as analytics to show you how many people have actually watched the video, the estimated minutes watched, the subscribers, and these are all links that you can go into to get more information in detail to determine how successful and how much reach you're actually getting with your content on your website as well as through YouTube. So we're going to go back, and I can't stress how important this screen is, so please take the time to kind of expose yourself to it. We won't cover that information here because this is essentially about running your site. And YouTube is very detailed in giving you tons of information to read through to educate yourselves about how to work with that. So moving on, what we want here is when we go down to this area where it says about, where we would get our description, which we didn't put in, and we see how this information relives again, and why it's important to enter these details. We're going to go here to share. When we go to share, we get these options to share it on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, which we could also get from our site, but again, we're just sharing the link. What I want to do is I want to make this look like it's on universalbaptistchurch.org, so I want to embed the video into the website. Here I have additional options such as I can show suggestions of videos when I'm done, which I don't want to do. I can enable privacy enhanced mode, and here if you click the question mark, you'll get more information on that. Use old embed code, which you do not have to utilize. You can utilize the code that YouTube generates for you in this box. And as you can see here, we see video size. And if you recall from the columns video, our area that we generally will be posting content to, we have about 700 pixels wide. This is only 420 by 315, so it's a little bit less than we have. We can go larger. So if we click this down, we see different sizes. And I can even say a custom size to make it that 700 pixels wide. But we won't be that complicated. This prefixed 640 pixels will be sufficient. So I'm going to choose that. And you can see YouTube has updated the code in this area. And this I want to copy. I go back to the website. And here you can see this is where video will go. But I don't have a link to it because I haven't created a post for it. So this is also a great exercise in how we create things. So I'm going to say, edit this post. Forgive me, we don't necessarily need to edit this because we need to make that content to link to on this page. So I'm going to say create a new post. We're going to call it creating video. And we know that we have two videos because we did this in a part A and a part B. This being the part B. So I'm going to put a placeholder here for part 1. Put a return, and then whenever I work with video and copying these codes or any kind of HTML code, I always have to paste it in the text editor. And in the text editor, I see my part 1. I'm going to put a return and another return just to have a little space, because how returns work here in the text editor are different than how they work in your visual editor. Returns are not necessarily seen in the text editor or won't render when you actually see them in the web browser unless you have code that supports it. Not for you to worry about. Again, you will work predominantly in the visual editor, which is the representation of Word that you're familiar with, and at least 90% of everything that you need to do easily can be done there. But for this circumstance, working with video and pasting HTML code, which we need to do, we have to do it in the text editor. Again, I go back to my little space just so I can see things clearly. I paste my code. I'm going to say publish because I don't want to lose it. But I do want to make a change. I want to give that part 1 some kind of emphasis. Give it a heading. So to format it, I'm going to go to the visual editor. I click on part 1. I don't have to highlight it in this case because I want the entire line. And remember, I can't use heading 1, 2, but I can use 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3 and 4, let's say as a rule of thumb, I mean, they're kind of larger. We want to go with 5 and 6, which is a little bit more subtle. Let's say a subheading. And our even number is the color, same as with 4. So let's make it orange and give it a heading 6 and say update. But we need to make sure it took, and it didn't. If we check here. Heading 6, okay. Update. We wait for that to update. And as you noticed, when the code that we pasted here, WordPress recognized. And again, notice how WordPress removed that extra space that we put in. So, WordPress put in a frame that shows us where our video will be placed and how it'll look, just as a representation. And this is a social post. Do I want to share this? No, because this is educational for you and we're keeping this internal. And this is a circumstance where I elect not to share this. I'm going to categorize it as a tutorial. unselect uncategorized because it has a category that it lives in. I'm going to say update. I want to view the post. Let's see what this looks like. And perfect. There it is. There's the video and it plays. I have all the functionality that I have within YouTube to go full screen or not. And sharing. And settings and preferences. But now here's the thing. So we created the video. And remember our tutorial page? We had a link for it, but we didn't have the link. So let's go back to that page and let's link up video. We need to fix that. So let's edit the post. There's video. Let's highlight. I'm going to highlight the text video, making sure not to get the extra space or the bullet. I'm going to link it. And it's existing content. We called it creating. Oh, there it is. We select it. We don't want to open it in a new tab. It's within our site, so it's okay. But I could. We're going to add the link. Update. And then let's take a look at the post. Here or here. Same place. We always want to confirm our links, make sure everything goes where it should go. Otherwise, it provides frustration for your user, and you can potentially end up having users either talk poorly about your site or not use your site. Click video. There's our creating video with our heading, part 1. Ready to go. And I'm going to show you how I add the next video right below it and the next part.